which is why I'm kind of keyed in on three specific guys tonight in this game.
Tyrese Haliburton, coming off one of his worst games of the playoffs, his points prop set at 20.5 tonight. Anything from him? 20.5 tonight. Anything from him?
I like his over assists, over 9.5 assists. I got this over 9.5. He's cleared this number in 3 of 5 games in this series. He's cleared this number in 3 assist totals of 11, 11, 7, 15 in that breakout. Crazy triple-double that he had, and then 6 last game. But even in the 2 games where he came up short, the potential was there. He had 13 and 10 potential assists in games 3 and 5. Potential assists is one of my favorite stats to look at in terms of predicting what's going to happen in the future. In his best games, though, 20 and 24 potential dimes. So that's the type of upside I want to see. When his teammates are converting, he has this ability, unlike very few players in the NBA, to really rack up those assist totals and even to really 20 at times. So to kind of highlight that even more, I dug into the numbers. He's averaging 75.8 passes made per game in this series, and the next closest pacer is Nembhard at 37.2. So this offense fully runs through Haliburton. Yes, will TJ McConnell come in and he's going to be high usage. He's going to be have the ball in his hands for 15 minutes or something like that when Haliburton's sitting tonight. But I think I'm going to go right back to the well here, and this kind of blends in with my idea that this is going to be an up-tempo, feeding into the crowd type of game for the Pacers. Feeding into the crowd type of game for the Pacers.
Looking ahead to the finals, regardless of who comes out of the series, what number would you need to bet the series from the East? And would you need to if OKC were to somehow not win the final, do you think that would be the biggest upset in NBA Finals history? Do you think that would be the biggest upset in NBA Finals history?
It's going to be close. I mean, the thing about OKC is that the one hesitation I have, like their defense is amazing. I think if they play the Knicks, if the Knicks somehow win the next couple games here, I think they're going to sweep the Knicks. I think a team like the Pacers, that has maybe not the same amount of depth, and obviously nowhere close to the defensive fortitude that OKC has. I could see them stealing a couple games just based on that depth alone. I'm a firm believer, and I've seen this happen. I'm a Celtics fan, a big-time Celtics fan since birth. I saw this happen this year where outside of Peyton Pritchard, they had very little firepower off the bench, and no one really talked about that. The Pacers, no one really talked about that. They could play 9-10 deep and be very comfortable with that, which would come in really handy against a team like the Thunder. So I think that depending if it's the Thunder versus OKC, depending if it's the Thunder versus the Pacers, excuse me, I consider placing a bet for the Pacers to win, depending on what number I could get. But I think OKC in 6 or OKC in 7, we're going to get some pretty solid value there as well. We're going to get some pretty solid value there.
Going back to tonight's game, Jalen Brunson has been averaging over 30 points a game in this series. Do you think he does again tonight in this series?
Yep.
Do you think
over 30.5 points was one of the first places I looked tonight. He thrives in these high-pressure situations. He's the best scorer in the league again this season here. One of the best clutch performers in the playoffs. He's cleared this 30.5 point mark. He's 4 out of the 5 games in the series. He had 43, 36, 23, 31, and 32. 36, 23. He's shooting 50% from the field, 42 to 45% from the free throw line. So that foul merchant identity is kind of living up to that a little bit here. Usage rate is ridiculous at 35.9%. He's going to only stay the same or increase tonight here. And in 4 elimination games with the Knicks, he scored 32, 17 in a little bit of a dud, but 41 and then 38 points. So he's gone out of over this line in 3 of those 4. So he's gone out of the pace is there, the shot volume is there, the trust is there, the shot volume is there. He's going to play probably 42 to 45 minutes tonight in a close game. 45 minutes tonight. And so I think he's going to soar over this number, to be honest. And I'd bet it's probably all the way up to 32 and a half, probably all the way up to 32 and a half, even. So I think there's even value at 30 and a half, which is something I never thought I'd say for a guy like Jalen Brunson. Something I never thought
Dan, last one for me. What do you think we're looking at this summer in terms of an offseason? Maybe Giannis on the move, maybe Durant on the move, maybe Giannis on the move, Lakers possibly trading Austin Reeves. What's kind of the craziest prediction you see here? What's kind of the situation where the West is just so much better than the East? Your Celtics not really a factor going forward. They have a lot of decisions to make. Not really a factor going forward. How do you handicap going forward this summer? And is there a future bet you would make off of this summer? And is there a future bet what you think might happen? You would make off of that?
I'm very high on the Spurs. I'm very high on the Spurs. Either Giannis or KD could very realistically end up there. They have the draft capital to kind of do something to make a splash move. And if you think about Giannis alongside Wembanyama, like how fun would that be? What a defensive matchup that would be. I mean, I guess it's a crazy matchup on either end of the floor. I mean, I guess it's a crazy matchup on either end. In order, you look back at previous off seasons. If Rudy Gobert went for 5 first rounders, I don't think that's first rounders. I don't think that's going to happen again. In terms, I mean, KD would be worth again. Giannis would be worth 15, 20. That's not going to happen. I think if OKC were to somehow fall short in the finals, they obviously have crazy amounts of draft capital. They could make a splash move for one of those two guys. But I think KD in Phoenix is done deal. I think he's out of there. Is done deal. Experiment out of there. I think expired a little bit, and I think he's certainly going to be on the move. And with Giannis, I think he's certainly going to be on the move. I think I'd be a little bit more hesitant there. I think he's kind of the whole identity of that Bucks team, and I think they're more likely to convince him that we're going to build around you. We're going to make some other moves. We're going to build around to really make that happen. Other moves. I guess my bold take would be that I think Brad Stevens with Jason Tatum going to be out the whole next year. With Jaylen Brown, who knows what's going on with his injury as well? Who knows what's going on with his injury? He's going to make some big splash moves, and he's going to make some big splash moves in the future rather than next season. And they're going to want to move some of those big salaries out of Boston. So I know that Shams alluded to some moves being made there potentially by Brad Stevens. I think that certainly. I think the Celtics are going to probably have 3 to 4 different starters in their starting 5 at the beginning of next season than they did here at the beginning of next season than they did here. I guess that's my bold take. So I guess that's my.
Awesome stuff, Dan. You can find his work over at VSiN.com. He's posting his NBA props every day. Dan, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck on your plays tonight.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
We'll see you soon. All right, VSiN fans, how would you like to play the Circa Survivor or Circa Million contest for free this season? Winners Circle Proxy is giving away 1 free $1,000 entry to each contest plus full proxy service. And get this, you will be paired with a VSiN host for strategy all season long. Enter now for your chance to win at winnerscircleproxy.com/VSiN. Once again, that's winnerscircleproxy.com/VSiN. Our best bets coming up after this.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why, just like you, she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe.
Celebrate in style with the Legacy Club Sunset Package at Circa Resort and Casino. Cozy up by a fire pit, enjoy handcrafted cocktails, and raise a champagne toast as the sun sets over the Las Vegas Valley. With breathtaking panoramic views and an unforgettable atmosphere, it's the perfect setting for any occasion. Legacy Club Rooftop Cocktails. Reserve your spot today at circalasvegas.com.
This is Make It Rain with Adam Shine.
Red Sox have been a disappointment. I picked them before the season started to win the division. I still believe in Boston to eventually make the playoffs. I still love Alex Cora, but I do acknowledge there's been something just off when it comes to the chemistry, the hitting, the injuries, the vibes overall from the Red Sox. I'm not giving up quite yet.
Make It Rain with Adam Shine. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Looking for someone's picks? We compile.
It's just having to do this, kind of manage that.
And we welcome you to Lakewood, Ohio's Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network, is proud to bring you Countdown to Kickoff here, Week 1 of the Premier Amateur Football League. And we got a good one today, folks. The Cleveland Cobras, they get ready to host the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. Hello, everyone. Jim Craven with you, along with Matt Craven up here high atop the very crowded press box here. Much anticipated Week 1 matchup across the league as we get ready to see these two teams after a preseason. Each playing a couple, 3 games here, and the Rapids coming out 2-1. Cobras coming out at 2-0, but we're the first one a little bit of an abbreviated game over in the Toledo area. However, had a 27-0 lead when that came to its conclusion. Of course, they took on the Erie Express here 2 weeks ago. They get the 13-7 win over the Express. Cobra defense holds the Express to 0. Erie scoring on an interception return for a touchdown. That would be the only score for the Express. The Cobras get their first win over Erie in several years. For the Cleveland Cobras, they start today off Week 1 here against a relatively new team in brand only. Many veteran names on here we'll get to see. You'll recognize a few, actually, as former Cobra players. But nonetheless, it will be a good matchup here for the Rapids as they went 2-1 in the preseason. They would take on the Northwest Ohio Warlocks in Week 1 at InfoCision Stadium in Akron. That one coming to an abbreviated, and they were in the lead by a score of 27-0 also. They would take on the Lima Warriors the following week. They would get the 47-6 win. They would step it up in competition. Last week they would take on the Detroit Ravens. Of course, Detroit Ravens on a 30-plus game winning streak. They get the 54-0 win. However, a lot to learn there for a new team as they take on one of the top-rated teams in the nation. As a matter of fact, the Detroit Ravens and the Racine Raiders will get together tonight in Michigan. That a big matchup on a national stage. We're going to step aside for a timeout. When we come back, pregame show continue here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. And you are listening to Cleveland Cobras football here in Lakewood. We'll be back right after this.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go.
Wow!
The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to ClevelandCobrasFootball.com, Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country. But it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it. It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Pregame show continues here from Lakewood, Ohio, as we get ready for the Cleveland Cobras and the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. Take a look at the schedule from around the PAFL Week 1. PAFL making its return this year under the guidance of Commissioner Jermaine Campbell. We'll take a look at the schedule. Started out today with the Mid-Ohio Patriots. They would travel to Youngstown to take on the Patricians. Last score we got on that was a 21-14 lead for the Patricians. That game available over on Western Reserve Radio 2 with Mark Means, Dave Clark, and, of course, the all-great board op, Dave Ferris. Also, 4 p.m. kickoff, the Portsmouth Lions taking on the West Virginia Leviathan. The Canton Hurricanes, they will head down to Columbus to take on the Fire. In progress now, the Ohio Broncos and the Cleveland Rams. Last report, Rams with the lead over the Ohio Broncos. And a 7 o'clock kickoff. It will be for the Steel City Bobcats taking on the Beaver County Arctic Bengals. We'll let you know coming up here on June 5th, we will have the ScoutingOhio.com Jack Arvin Classic here on Western Reserve Radio. That'll be a 7 o'clock start at the Liberty Leopard Stadium on the campus of Liberty High School. Of course, a little soft spot there as the significant other works there. So a little shout out to her as we get ready for that. And then on Friday night, we'll have the baseball version of the All-Star Classic again here on Western Reserve Radio. Both teams getting ready for kickoff, just about 3 minutes away. Sky's clearing up here, about 60 degrees now. Don't believe we're going to expect any more rain for the rest of the night. So we may get through this without any precipitation. We're going to step aside for one more break. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff, Week 1 of the PAFL season here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back on the other side.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Nina's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Your home for PAFL football is the
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192.
The stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
Just moments away from kickoff, Week 1 of the PAFL season. The Cobras and the Rapids getting together here as the Cleveland Cobras will make their way to the field here in their all-black uniforms, black helmets, and the black pants with the traditional Cobra logo on there. And for the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids, they will be in their red jerseys with the gold detail, white helmets, and white pants. Got to see the Rapids a couple weeks ago as we went up to InfoCision Stadium. Great presentation in the the ownership group doing a good job up there, putting on a nice spectacle there. So great things expected out of the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids for the Cleveland Cobras. A lot of new names popping in here this year on the roster, and there's some excitement there with head coach Adam Rogerson, as he is in his, I believe, his 5th year as the Cleveland Cobras head coach. Of course, Cobras owned by Jesse Caldwell. If we got the coin toss correct, I believe the Cleveland Cobras are going to receive to start the 2025 season. Again, not a cloud in the sky right now, about 60 degrees, so optimal conditions for a kickoff here in Cleveland. As both teams will get ready to line up. Again, for the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids, they took on the Northwest Ohio Warlocks. They get the win, a dominant win over the Lima Warriors, and of course, stepped up and took the challenge against the Detroit Ravens last week. And for the Cobras, they took on those very same Northwest Warlocks. They were up 27-0 as well. That game ended somewhat abruptly, to put it politely. And then they would go on to take on the Erie Express here in Lakewood and get the 13-7 win. As both teams making their way out on the field. A little bit of a delay here as the officials try to clean this one up. And it looks like Terrell Lively will be one of the returners back for Cleveland. And I believe Tamir Stevens, excuse me, that might be Vincent Taylor back there. We have a couple of 21, some double numbers here as we get ready to kick this one off from Lakewood. Bobby Joe Rhodes to kick off for the Rapids. And we're underway here. This one will be picked up at the 11-yard line, brought out to the 15, near the 20, cut back to the inside, 35, 40. He'll cut back to the 50, inside the 40, and he is gone. Actually going to be knocked out at the 21-yard line, lost some momentum, and I believe that's going to be, I hope we can get some help on it. Again, we got a couple of double numbers here, but I want to say that was Tyree Knight. We'll try to clear that up for you here in a moment. If we can get him to turn around, we can. So Cobra is going to start 1st and 10 in Rapids territory. They'll mark the ball at the 22-yard line. All right, so Tyree Knight on the return. A little confused here. Terrell Lively also wearing number 1 here, 1 on offense, 1 on defense. So 1st and 10 for the Cobras. They'll start out near the 22-yard line. 1st and 10. It'll be on the near hash mark. Cobras moving left to right if you are listening on Live 365 or tune in. And if you're joining us here on YouTube, we appreciate you tuning in for tonight as TJ Johnson going to get the start at quarterback for the Cobras. It'll be Matt Wise, the receiver to the near side. Twin receivers to the far side. Devin Tufts to the outside. He's had a good preseason. Here's Johnson now. Went the handoff off the left side. A little bit of room, but he's going to be brought down. Maybe it picked up a yard, but Mark Hale going to ride his back and bring him down. Excuse me, that might be Williams on the tackle. Getting a couple of jersey changes here. We'll get used to it as we go along here in the game, but actually going to be it's going to be a loss. They'll move this ball back to the 24-yard line. So loss of 2, 2nd and 12 now for the Cobras. 14:22 here of the first quarter. If you're just joining us on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network, twin receivers out to the far side. It'll be Thompson and Tufts. Actually, they'll go 3 as well. Vincent Taylor out there. TJ Johnson in the shotgun. Johnson going to pull it on the read, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield. It's going to drive his legs, but the whistle's going to blow, and it's going to be another loss for the Cleveland Cobras. That's going to bring up a 3rd and long with just about 13:45 left here in the first quarter. Cleveland with a big return on the opening kickoff. However, 2 negative plays as they'll mark this ball now at the 28. So third down from the 28-yard line. They're going to have to get to the 12. For a first down, twin receivers to the far side. Angelo Thompson will be the outside receiver. Tufts to the inside. Twin receivers to the near side. That'll be Matt Wise on the outside. Deep threat. Returning Cobra player for 2025. Johnson in the shotgun. He'll play on his feet. And over the middle. And throwing it past the receiver. There was some miscommunication there. I believe that was going to be Vincent Taylor. Didn't know that one was intended for him. And that's going to bring up fourth down for the Cobras. However, looks like they may go for a 28-yard line as Devin Tufts will check in for the Cobras. 13:03 left here, first quarter. Clock stopped after the incompletion. Opening week of the PAFL. Hopefully you got an opportunity to join Mark Means, Dave Clark, Dave Ferris over in North Jackson there for the opening of the Youngstown Patricians season. Johnson now in a shotgun, twin receivers to each side. Fourth and long, they'll have to get to the 12-yard line. Johnson, one running back to his right. Matt Wise again to the outside. Johnson taking his time. He'll play on his feet. Fires down the sideline, has Matt Wise open. Caught in the end zone, touchdown. Are they going to give it to him? They say he got into the corner. Or they're going to say he's out. And they're going to say he's just short. But it's going to be enough for a first down. First and goal for Cleveland. 12 and a half minutes left here, first quarter. And on cue, you talk about Matt Wise, the deep threat, and there he is. So they'll be on the right hash mark now as it'll be first and goal. Johnson back in the shotgun. Lamore Stiller leading that offensive line at center. Ambrose Picorni filling in at right tackle for the Cobras. Johnson make some adjustments. Twin receivers to his left as well. Johnson with the read. He'll pull it and take it himself. He'll fight his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. 11:51 left here, first quarter. The Cobras take a 6-0 lead pending the extra point. So after starting out with three negative plays offensively, TJ Johnson finds Matt Wise down the sideline to give him a first and goal. And now a touchdown for the Cleveland Cobras. So we're actually going to have to flip sides of the field here because if you kick the extra point from here, you're going to end up in somebody's bedroom. So we will flip sides for the conversion. And so Robinson on the touchdown for Cleveland. Johnson gets the first points of the 2025 season. Again, we've got to flip sides of the field here, so going to take a little bit of a moment. Plenty of folks up here covering this game today, 216 Sports Network, as well as Ken and Andrew Straub of the Straub Brothers Sports Show. Jeff Cooper Ryder, the punter out of Toledo University, coming in for the extra point. Joe Barrico to hold. Cobras with the 1-yard run as they feed off the snap is back, kick is up. And it is good into the net. And with 11:51 left here, first quarter, the Cobras, after a rough start, get into the end zone on a 1-yard touchdown run. They take a 7-0 lead. We'll step aside for a timeout. You are listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network.
Season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier. Then make sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday 10 to 4 and Saturday 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane, they got gas.
To the stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
11:51 left here, first quarter. Cleveland on the first possession of the game, heads downfield, gets a great return from Tyree Knight. And a big pass to Matt Wise from TJ Johnson, sets up a 1-yard run for the Cleveland Cobras. And Eshawn Robinson gets into the end zone on a 1-yard touchdown run, as Cooper Ryder will come in to kick this one off. Right-footed kicker, and actually sent it right down the middle of the field to be fielded near the 12-yard line, brought out to the 25, 30, past the 35, and he'll drive his legs down near the 38-yard line. We'll see where they give him the credit at, but it looks like it's going to be right at the 38, I believe. As now the Rapids will have their first shot on offense. .425 defense for Cleveland. Keeping an eye on a young man there out of Massillon High School, Brandon Carmen, at linebacker, number 8. A lot of talk about that young man here on the defense. As Burico and Federal to be the outside ends. Lightfoot will be in there at tackle as well. So receiver to each side for the Rapids, 1st and 10. They're actually marking it at the 40-yard line, man in motion. They'll pitch it out to the far side, looking for some room to run. And just about back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10 now for the Rapids. Rapids testing that right side. Actually, they're going to put it at the 43, or they're actually going to say a 3-yard gain. Thought he might have stepped out there, so my eyes deceived me on that one. Twin receivers to the near side. 2 backs in the backfield for the Rapids. Twins to the left, single receiver to the far side. 11 minutes left here, first quarter. They'll give this one off the left side. Some room to run. Contact right at the line of scrimmage. Will be brought down. Matt Federer in there for the tackle. Elijah Bracey on the run for the Rapids. They'll get out to the 45-yard line. Pick up a 2. 3rd and 5 now for the Rapids. A couple of injuries from last week, but something well expected after taking on one of the top-ranked, maybe top 1 or 2 teams in the nation, the Detroit Ravens. As they'll go same formation, twin receivers to the near side, ball at midfield. 3-step drop, looking out to his left, working to the right, nowhere to go. Burico had a shot at him, couldn't wrap him up, still loose and brought down near the 48-yard line. Jordan Jones trying to make something happen with his legs. That'll bring up 4th down now for the Rapids. Just under 10 minutes to play here, first quarter. Cobras with a 7-0 lead. And it looks like the Rapids will go into a huddle. Taylor Dryden making his way onto the field for the Rapids. Both teams with a sizable offensive line. So twin receivers again to the near side. One receiver to the right. Jones in the shotgun. One running back to each side. Taking his time. He'll get off the right side. Plenty of room. Past midfield. And he's gone. 52 yards for the touchdown. And the Rapids 1 point within, tying this game. It's now 7-6 in favor of the Cobras. And that's going to be Emmett Calhoun, the former Cleveland Cobra, on the run. 50 yards on the run. Calhoun hit the middle between the tackles, and nobody touched him after that. .9:11 left here, first quarter. .76 pending the conversion. Bobby Joe Rhodes to come on for the extra point. Snap is back. Kick is up. And it is good. 9:11 left here, first quarter. Rapids tie this one up on a 50-yard run. We'll step aside for a timeout. You are listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back on the other side of this break.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
9:11 left here, first quarter, all tied up at 7. Rapids on a 50-yard touchdown run by Emma Calhoun. As Rhodes kicks this one off towards Tyree Knight. Knight going to pick this one up on the bounce at the 10-yard line. Bring it from the far side. Good block. Looking to cut back to the inside. He'll get past the 30, 40, 45. He's past midfield again, and he'll be brought down near the 42-yard line. We'll see where they're going to mark it at, but the Cobras again will start on the Rapids side of the field. 2 great returns by Tyree Knight. And the Cobras will take over 1st and 10, their second possession of the game. And we'll see where we're going to mark this officially. I believe that's going to be the 44 from where the official is standing. He'll set the chains there. As soon as we can, we'll get you an update on the Youngstown Patricians and the Mid-Ohio Patriots. That was a 4 o'clock kickoff over in North Jackson. Patricians making their debut. John Galbraith, one of the head guys over there, putting a lot of work in this week. Seen a lot of nervousness. But as we got to watch that game with Mark Means and Dave Clark and Dave Ferris, looked like it was a good day all the way around for football. As we'll now go Johnson in the shotgun, one running back to each side, single receiver to the near side. That'll be Matt Wise. He'll be one-on-one with Wright at the corner. Johnson to the far side, pulling up, trying to find some room to run, trying to extend it. He'll throw over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. And the pass intended for D'Angelo Thompson, but short-armed it. It went into the turf. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for Cleveland. 8:50 left here, first quarter. All tied up at 7. If you're just joining us here on Western Reserve Radio, if you're watching in on YouTube or listening on the Live 365 network, both teams scoring on their opening possession.
Discount Power Sports at 7-7.
So 2nd and 10 now. Johnson now in the shotgun. One man to his right. Twin receivers to each side. No positive gain on either of these first downs for Cleveland. It'll be empty backfield now, though. Send his running back out there. That'll be Robinson. And we're going to have a flag. Took a long time to get that play off and then got some movement. Actually, they're going to say this one's against the Rapids. Okay, that's going to be an encroachment. So Cleveland on the ball, 2nd and 5 now. Ball marked at the 39, 7:58 left up on the clock here in this first frame. Cobra's going to go back to the huddle. So twin receivers to the near side this time. Baycoat and Marvin Germany, the twin receivers to the near side. Johnson, 3-step drop, shoulder fake, throws it down there, has a wide open receiver, and it's going to be knocked away. Beautiful recovery by the defensive back.
There's a flag on the play.
Flag at the line of scrimmage. We'll see what that's about. A hold coming up against Cleveland. I wouldn't have been surprised if the Rapids had declined that, but they're going to give him the down over again. So 3rd and 20 now for the Cobras. 7:28 left here in the first quarter. First flag of the day for either team. Cobra's going to go back to the twin receiver set to each side. Johnson in the shotgun. One running back to his right. 1st and 20. Johnson, 3-step drop, looking out to his left, stepping up in the pocket, almost wrapped up, he'll escape. Looking downfield, he's going to throw this one out into the flats. Baycoat going to catch this one. He'll get across the 50 down to the 49-yard line. He'll get some of the yardage back that they lost, and Wright will knock him out of bounds. And it is a final from North Jackson. The Youngstown Patricians, they get the 24-14 win over the Mid-Ohio Patriots. Patricians 1-0 on the season. They'll mark the ball now at the 48-yard line. Cobras will have to get to the 34 for a first down. Matt Wise with his second reception of the day. As the clock will continue to run here, 6:15 left here, first quarter. Twin receivers again to each side. Johnson now going to go out to the left of TJ Johnson. He'll be the inside receiver in a 3-receiver set up top. He'll go in motion from right to left. So Tyree Knight, Matt Wise, and Johnson is TJ Johnson. Stepping back, takes a snap, stepping up, trying to direct traffic under pressure, throws it out in the flats. And an inaccurate throw. Pass intended for D'Angelo Thompson. And we'll bring up another 4th down situation for Cleveland. 5:44 left in the first quarter here. What has become a very slow-moving first quarter. All tied up at 7. Got to assume that they will bring on Cooper Ryder to punt this one away. So the Rapids going to set up a returner right around his own 18-yard line. Cooper Ryder will place his heels at his own 38. Cleveland, their first punt of the day. 5:04 left here, first quarter. Cooper Ryder clapping his hands, looping snap, and we'll get a whistle. And it's going to say that the punter went down on his knee.
That'll give the Rapids great field position.
And I believe that there's an issue there because you're not down if you're not touched.
I believe it's modified college rules, but we are seeing a flag on the far side of the field.
So officials going to talk about this right up midfield. So they're going to repeat 4th down here. Okay, so officials get together, they get it right. We'll get a second shot at this. So ball now at the 48-yard line. Again, Cooper Ryder, he'll hang out right around us between the 38 and 39-yard line. Clock will continue to run now. Under 4:50 left to play here, first quarter. All right, so we're going to move the ball back up to the 43-yard line. Looping snap again. Cooper Ryder going to get this one away. He'll directionally punt this one to the far side. It'll take a roll, and it's going to roll at the 10-yard line. Touched, and he's going to pick it up and be pushed out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Rapids playing with fire a little bit there. They'll take over 1st and 10. 4:23 left here, first quarter at their own 10-yard line. I'm not sure the coaching staff would be completely happy with that one. Sometimes you just got to let it go, but no worse for the wear as the Rapids will start off 1st and 10. Having a little trouble seeing those numbers, though. I don't know if I'm wrong about that. They have a little bit of a glare to them. So we do apologize to the Rapids fans for that if we're trying to decipher what those numbers are. As Joe Barrico will make his way to the side. Excuse me, that'll be Carmen making his way to the sideline. Durante Nalling now at middle linebacker for the Cobras. Everybody up tight there, no safety for the Cobras. Jones, quick pass out to the far side. He's going to hit Emmett Calhoun. Calhoun, upended, ball loose, and I believe It's under a pile. Everybody's going to point, and Cleveland thinks they have it. We'll get the official call. They're going to say no. Second down for the Rapids. Calhoun cut down. Ball came loose. Cobras had a chance at it, but it'll be second down now at the 16-yard line. Excuse me, at the 14-yard line. Pick up a 4. So almost a disastrous play for the Rapids, but it'll be about 2nd and 6 now for Cuyahoga Falls. Jordan Jones now in the shotgun. 2 running backs in the backfield with him. Twin receivers to the near side. We'll move right to left on your devices. Quick handoff off the right side. Room to run. They'll make it out past the 15 and drive their way down near the 20-yard line. That's enough for a Rapids first down. Cuyahoga Falls having success on the ground here so far. 3:16 left here in the first quarter. Week 1 of the PAFL season. Plenty of great matchups. We're on Western Reserve Radio 2. Youngstown Patricians get the 24-14 win over the Mid-Ohio Patriots as Johnson now in his shotgun. Again, twin receivers to the near side. He'll go max protection with the 2 running backs. Federer showing pressure off the right side of that Cobras defense. He'll hand it off and contact right at the line. They'll get the whistle. He'll be brought down and no gain on the play. 2nd and 10 now for the Rapids. Again, trying to get some of these numbers here. A little bit difficult to read them unless the sun is actually beaten off of them. So actually, you're going to say he lost a yard there. They'll mark it at the 19-yard line. 2nd and 11, 2:23 left. As Jordan Jones now in the shotgun. 1 running back to each side. Twin receivers to the near side. Single receiver to the far side. Everybody moved up tight here for the Cobras. No safety. Taking their time now. 3-step drop. Pats the ball, fires over there, and it's going to be almost picked off. Friendly fire as the Cobras play defense against each other as Quay Harris and Lamar Hill get some confusion back there, but nonetheless, great defensive play. Receiver fell down for the Rapids, and now it'll be 3rd and 11 for Cuyahoga Falls. Great opportunity for the Cobras. There was nothing but green in front of them. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Donovan Mormon in the center of that Cleveland Cobras defensive line. He and Joe Barrico. Federer to the outside. I believe that's going to be Jones back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket. Looking around under pressure. Oh, and he's brought down at the 16-yard line. Cobras get the coverage sack, and Robert Littlejohn, who has had a great couple of weeks, comes in for the sack, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And the Rapids are going to have to punt this one away. They're going to mark the ball at the 17-yard line. They would have to get to the 30 for a first down, so they're going to see fit to punt this one away. Tyree Knight back to return right around his own 40-yard line. 1:01 left here as the clock continues to run here in the first quarter. Both teams scoring on their first possession of the game. Cobras on a 1-yard touchdown run. Rapids on a 50-yard run by Emma Calhoun. Clock still running here, 40 seconds left. Rapids will run 1 player on, as will the Cobras. We'll get a whistle here. We'll see who took the time out. Oh, we're going to get a flag, actually. Is it going to be a delay of game or an illegal substitution? So that'll put him back 5 more. They'll mark this one at the 12-yard line now, so a little less room for the Rapids. As Rhodes will place his heels in the end zone. Actually, he'll step right up to the goal line. Cobra receiver now, returner set right at midfield. Snap is back, not great, a high punt. And they're going to step away from it. And it's going to take a Cobra bounce. All past the 30 down to the 29. So after a high punt by the Rapids, It hits the nose of the ball and takes a Cobra bounce, and it's 1st and 10 now for Cleveland in Rapids territory. Cobra offense has started all of their possessions on the plus side of the field, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter here in Lakewood. We are all tied up at 7. We're going to step aside for a timeout. You are listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back after this.
All of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to clevelandcobrasfootball.com, Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416.
All right, second quarter upon us here as we're all tied up at 7. Cleveland, 1st and 10 from the Rapids 30-yard line. Johnson in the shotgun, one running back to his left. They'll hand it off. That'll be Gaddy. Gaddy's going to cough up the ball, and it's going to be covered up by the Rapids at the 25. It's a turnover, 1st and 10 for Cuyahoga Falls. With 14:56 left in the second quarter. Ball knocked out, dislodged from Gaddy. It went forward, and the only players there had red jerseys on. So a turnover for the Cleveland Cobras. And the Rapids will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Try to bring you some updated scores from around the area. You know that the Cleveland Rams were leading the Ohio Broncos. We'll get you a score later on that one as well. Canton Hurricanes traveling down to the Columbus Fire. No easy task for Ron McEwen and the Canton Hurricanes. All right, so Jones in the shotgun, one running back to each side, twin receivers to the far side. Offensive line trying to make some adjustments. Back to pass as Jones fires down the middle, one-on-one, and it's going to be dropped at the 40-yard line. Pass broken up by Lamar Hill. Trying to get you a number on the receiver, I believe. That's going to be 84, but I don't think we have an 84. Oh, I'm sorry, Darwin Filey. I apologize. So great defense by that Cleveland secondary. Didn't give up any points, in their first 2 games. Rapids score the first points against the Cobras defense of 2025. So Jones in the shotgun again. They'll go back to the same formation. Single receiver. Hill, one-on-one to the near side. We'll get a whistle and a flag. It's going to be a false start coming up against the Rapids. That'll knock him back 5. 2nd and 15 now for the visiting team. 14:21 left here, second quarter. All tied up at 7. The run's coming by way of a 1-yard touchdown run for Cleveland. And for the Rapids, a big 50-yard run. Ties this one up at 7. So Jones back in the shotgun. 14 minutes left here in the first half. Back to pass, looking out to his left. Fires downfield. It's going to be short, and it's going to be intercepted at the 44-yard line. Well, wait a minute. I think they're going to say the Rapids caught that. I mean, simultaneous possession would give it to the Rapids, but So instead of an interception, they're going to say it was simultaneous catch. So 1st and 10 for the Rapids at their own 45-yard line. 13:45 here. They'll mark it at the 44. 7-7 is your score. Next week we will head over to the Canton area, Louisville. St. Thomas Aquinas as the Cobras will take on the Ohio Broncos. Broncos trailing the Cleveland Rams right now. Emmett Calhoun back in the game. As Rapids are going to go 3 receivers to the near side. Calhoun now backed out to the far side. So an illegal. It looks like there's 5 men in the backfield. We'll see if they're going to catch him on that. Nope. Jones back to pass. Quick pass out to the flats. Caught. Past the 45. Past midfield and down near the 45-yard line on the plus side of the field. And they may have gotten enough for the first down. Now they're going to say he went out of bounds at the 48. So great effort here. And Cleveland is going to take a timeout. 12:59 left here, second quarter. We are all tied up at 7. We'll step aside for a timeout as well. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go. Wow! The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
12:59 left here, second quarter. Second down and 2 to go for the Rapids. They'll be at the Cleveland 48-yard line. Jones in a shotgun. One man behind him. Pistol formation. 3 receivers to the far side. Ball on the ground. Jones going to recover it. Under pressure, he's going to hold on to it. He'll be sacked and down near the 46-yard line on the Rapid side of the field. We'll bring up third down now for the Rapids. Some miscommunication on the handoff. Ball end up on the turf. And Jordan Jones able to recover that one. Tried to make something out of it, but too much time for the Cobras to get in there and wrap him up. Joe Barrico headed to the sideline. Looks like he's a little banged up, but Lightfoot down in there as well. As Quentin Wells to the left side. Pistol formation again. 3 receivers to the near side. Single receiver to the far side. Jordan Jones in the shotgun. One running back behind him. Third and just about 8. Pass over the middle. And there's going to be some contact and a flag on the play. Looked like it was going to be incidental, but the officials are going to say no. And the Rapids will get an easy first down. Got tied up with Nico St. Clair. I don't think that was anything intentional. I think their feet got tied up, but the officials not going to let that one go. And head coach Adam Rogerson is trying to get an explanation on that one. He's saying it was incidental. But nonetheless, they're going to enforce this one.
Refs are calling this one right down the middle. It'll be a free first down for the Rapids.
So are they calling it a pass interference or a hold prior to the pass? Okay, so they're going to say a hold prior to the pass. The ball will be marked at the Cobra 44-yard line. 12 minutes left here, second quarter. Tied up at 7. Jones in the shotgun again. Those core receivers to the right, single receiver to the far side. Cleveland now with Harris at the high safety. Now hand it. He'll read, keeping himself. Jones to the far side. Little John and Nico St. Clair on the tackle. We're going to have a flag on the play. Donovan Moorman was getting up off the ground, and I believe we're going to have a hold coming up against the Rapids, if I'm going to guess right. Is Donovan Moorman going to applaud that call? So, game's gotten as Matt has said, a little messy here. Said just a little bit. Week 1 here. He'll mark the ball back at the 45-yard line on the Rapid side of the field. You expect to see some interesting things in week 1. Of course, if you follow this level of football, you see something interesting every week. Speaking of more football coming up, Thursday, June 5th, we'll have the ScoutingOhio.com Jack Arvin Classic here on Western Reserve Radio. Mark Mead's heading up the crew on that. I'll join him as well as Dave FFID Ferris as they make their way home from the Patricians-Patriots game. Jones now in the shotgun, bobbles a snap, looking out to his left, fires down the sideline. 1-on-1, St. Clair there, going to knock it away. Nico St. Clair on the defense. And a great play Oh, excuse me, I don't. Sorry, that might be DeAndre Black on the defense there. Might got excited. A little excited there, but nonetheless, great defensive play. Ball back, still at the 45-yard line. Rapids need to get to the Cleveland 35-yard line for a first down with less than 10.5 minutes left here, first half. Jones back in the pistol formation. Two receivers to the far side. They'll have a wing to the right. Single receiver to the near side. Lamar Hill one-on-one. On the near side defensively for the Cobras. Three-step drop, looks out to his left, fires out into the flats. It's caught, and Nalling going to wrap him up and knock him out near the 46-yard line. Gain of 2. Clock continues to run. 9:50 left here in the first half here on what's turned out to be a beautiful night in Lakewood, Ohio. Temperature probably mid-50s right about now, I'd guess. Wind has settled down just a little bit. You can see the camera moving around. As also had that problem earlier with the Patricians game. A little windy in the Youngstown area. So third down now, ball at the 44-yard line. Johnson in the pistol, wing to the right, twin receivers to the far side. Hill again, one-on-one coverage, single receiver to our side. Three-step drop. He'll drop back a little further, stepping up in the pocket under pressure, fires downfield, got a flag, St. Clair on the coverage, and it's going to be overthrown. Incomplete, but we have a flag in the backfield, and that's usually in the area of holding. So I would assume they're going to decline this penalty and make it fourth down for the Rapids indeed. So holding is the case. Fourth down, penalties declined, and we will assume that the Rapids will punt this one away with 9:07 left here in the second quarter. Bobby Joe Rhodes to come in to do the punting duties. He'll count up the punt team. The clock continues to run. 8:50 left here, second quarter, all tied up at 7. After an exciting start to this game, things have kind of settled down, back and forth. Cobra returner will line up right around his own 17-yard line. And Rhodes, no problem, going to punt this one, a high punt. He'll take a bounce out past the 20, pick up at the 16, and return out past the 30, down near the 33-yard line. That's where Cleveland will take over. First and 10. I believe Tamir Stevens on the return for Cleveland. 221s here, so unless they turn around, a little hard to see the name there. But nonetheless, Cleveland first and 10 with 8:24 left. Clock stopped. Cobras tied with the Rapids at 7. Try to get you an update also as the Racine Raiders and the Detroit Ravens are going at it there in Detroit. Racine making the trip. Cleveland now will go twin receivers to each side. Tufts and Wise will be the two receivers to the near side. New quarterback now for Cleveland, James Cooney, with TJ Johnson behind him. So a handoff to Johnson. Johnson hit at the line, and he'll go down. Dustin Dye making the initial contact in the backfield for the Rapids. They'll mark the ball at the 32. So a loss of 1 for Cleveland. Second and 11. 8:05 here in the first half. Tyree Knight, D'Angelo Thompson, twin receivers to the far side. Tufts and Wise to the near side. Cooney in a quarterback. Johnson, the running back now to his left. Switch up some of the roles here on this Cleveland offense. Back to pass, looking downfield, fires down there, nice pass, looking for Wise, it's going to be knocked away.
Knocked away at the last minute. That Wise
and a little bit short. Great play by Deshaun Fielding, but pass just a little short intended for Matt Wise. He already has one big catch today that got Cleveland out of a bad situation. Set him up first and goal at the 1-yard line. Clock now at 7:20 here of the first half. 3rd and 11. Devin Tufts and D'Angelo Thompson will slide out to the far side, as well as Tyree Knight. Single receiver to the near side. That'll be Matt Wise. He'll be one-on-one with Mitchell. Back to pass. Cooney trying to step up and create some space. He'll run it this time. He'll try to get near it. He'll get out to the 39-yard line. He'll be short of the first down with 6:51 left. And we'll see if Cooper Ryder is going to come on to punt this one away. Cooney holding on the ball, and Jeff Cooper Ryder indeed will come in to punt this one away. Six and a half left here, first half. All tied up at 7. It's a final 2. Cleveland Rams, they get the win over the Ohio Broncos. Patricians with the win over the Mid-Ohio Patriots. Robinson making his way onto the field a little late for Cleveland. Change up in the punt formation for Cleveland. They'll go max protection. Federer right in the middle. Catch any pressure. Cooper Ryder will set up right around the ozone 26-yard line. Decent snap coming back. And this one a good punt. It'll be fielded near the 27-yard line by the Rapids. Brought out past the 35, 40. Ball loose on the turf, and we'll see who got it. Flag on the play. Cleveland says they have it. And the Cobras get the turnover. 5:38 left here, first half. Cobras. We'll see what the flags are going to be, though. I believe that's going to be Robinson that recovered the ball for Cleveland. Officials congregating there just out near midfield. So personal foul against the Rapids. That penalty is declined. Cleveland will keep the ball first down with 5:38 left here in the first half. So a special teams turnover for Cleveland gives the Cobras the ball back on the Rapids side of the field. Officials want to come over and talk to head coach Adam Rogerson. Not sure what the concern, maybe trying to figure out his options here, but the Cobra head coach headed out to midfield to talk to the umpire. And for the officials, usually the umpire is the rules expert. They will actually carry a copy of the rule book with them. However, these are modified rules at this level. And Adam Rogers headed back to the sideline. A little bit of a smile here, but no matter how it works out, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Cleveland at the Rapids 46-yard line. 5:38 left here, first half. All tied up at 7. So Cooney in a shotgun, fires out on the slant. Top's going to on the catch, past the 40, down near the 37-yard line. We'll see where they give him the credit. He'll be just short of the first down. 2nd and short now for Cleveland with 5.5 left in the first half. Devin Tufts having a great, well, you can call it the preseason or an out-of-league season. But he and Matt Wise to the near side now. Tyree Knight in the slot to the far side. Cooney in a shotgun. Johnson to his right. 3-step drop. Cooney stepping up in there. Avoids one tackle, collects himself, and gets back out to the outside, past the 30, down near the 20-yard line. And it's going to be a first down for Cleveland at the Rapids 20-yard line with just under 5 minutes to play here, second quarter. James Cooney, new to the Cleveland Cobras this year. And Cooney getting the call from the sideline. So Johnson and Cooney in the backfield here. Johnson moves from quarterback to running back. So far, Cooney has made some plays with his legs as the clock continues to run. 4.5 minutes left in this first half. Update from Detroit. Racine and Detroit, no score. Tufts and Wise, again, receivers to the left side. Tyree Knight to the far side. He'll be in the slot. They'll move Johnson to the right of Cooney. Got some movement up front here, and I believe they're going to have a false start coming up against Cleveland. It'll be 1st and 15 now as they'll move the ball back to the 25-yard line. Clock will stop with 4:11 left here in the first half. Rapids making an account for themselves here in their first official PAFL game. PAFL going dormant for several years, brought back by Commissioner Jermaine Campbell. So Thompson and Knight, the receivers to the far side. Wise and Tufts to the near side. Johnson to the right of Cooney in the shotgun. Clock will begin to run, 3:52 left. And we're going to get another whistle. Okay, so after some housekeeping, I guess. We'll see if we can get this play off now. Cooney with the snap. Shoulder fake out to the left. Steps up under pressure. Fires out to Johnson in the flat. He'll be brought down near the 30-yard line. He's going to lose about another 5 yards on that. So 2nd down for Cleveland. We'll see where they're going to mark the ball. They'd have to get to the 10 for a first down. I believe they're going to mark it at the 30. So 2nd and 20 now for Cleveland. Seems to be a pattern here on 1st and 2nd down with the negative plays.
Now it's about 20. Mitchell.
Twin receivers to each side. Cooney in the shotgun. Johnson his right again.
4 wide receivers. Look like they're showing blitz.
Cooney taking his time here. 2:50 left. Clock continues to run. He'll make some blocking adjustments up at the front. Back to pass. Looks out to his left. Fires. And pass was intended for Devin Tufts. Couldn't reach out for it. Couldn't connect on the play. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 20 now for Cleveland. Ball marked at the 30, so it'll be a 47-yard field goal for Jeff Cooper Ryder. I don't know if that's within his range or not, but
Get in the end zone. Do still have 2 timeouts. Getting the first down is more important.
Germany going to be back into the game. He'll go to the receiver spot, 3rd and 20. 2:29 left here, 2nd quarter. We are all tied up at 7. A little bit of a chill here in Lakewood as the sun starts to go down to our left. I believe we had that talk last week with Coach. So we will head down to the 2-minute warning here of the first half. Indeed, we will step aside for a break as well. You are listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network. Network. We're back on the other side of this break.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
This is number 56. This is number 56, Antoine Peterson, known as Tony Sweets. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football on iMedia One Network.
Cobra veteran Tony Sweets bringing us back after the 2-minute warning here. As Cleveland now 3rd and 20 from their own 30-yard line, all tied up at 7. James Cooney at the quarterback position now. TJ Johnson has slid over to the running back position. They've had Tufts and Wise partnered together in that Twins formation. Gonna have to watch out for them. Matt Wise already with the big catch, setting up the first Cleveland touchdown. Cobras scoring on a 1-yard run. That came at 11:51 left in the first quarter. Emma Calhoun just a couple minutes later breaks off a 50-yard run for the Rapids. Cooney now, empty formation, 3 receivers to the near side. Oh, excuse me, it'll be Johnson, his left, under pressure, and he's going to be brought down. Head came around, and they're going to say it was a jersey he grabbed, but there's a flag, and now the side judge. There's some flags that came in. The referee said that they grabbed the jersey. However, flags coming from the umpire and the side judge. We'll see what they're going to call here as we have some conversation. The head snapped around, which would lead us to believe that the hold would have come on the far side. As the clock stops at 1:32 left in the first half, the head did snap around, which would not lead me to believe that it was a jersey grab, but the umpire and the near side official threw the flag. So personal foul. Okay, so personal foul's coming up on both sides. So essentially, they're going to say the play did not happen. Those penalties will offset. I don't know where the penalty came against Cleveland. Obviously, the face mask came from the Rapids. But now 4th down for Cleveland. 1:49 left. So no, actually still going to be 3rd down. It's Cooney now in the shotgun. Johnson to his left. 3 receivers to the near side. It'll be Germany, Wise. I believe Tyree Knight to the near side. Single receiver to the far side. I believe that's going to be D'Angelo Thompson. Cooney back to pass, looking out to his left, steps up, fires down the sideline, looking for D'Angelo Thompson. It's going to be thrown out of bounds, and a turnover on downs come at 1:43 left in the second quarter. Oh, excuse me, now it is 4th down. Okay, so our yard marker over there is back and forth, but Cleveland, well into Rapids territory, I'm sure going to go for this one. Now they're going to bring on Cooper Ryder. See if they're going to try to pin him back, I guess. So the field position game being played by the Cleveland Cobras. With 1:43 left here, second quarter. Well, shout out to Mark Means, Dave Clark, Dave Ferris. First good run with the Youngstown Patricians. As we're going to get a whistle, and it looks like the Rapids are going to take a timeout. 1:43 left here, second quarter. We are tied up at 7. We'll step aside as well. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back on the other side of this break.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Cooper Ryder out to punt this one away. He'll post up right around the Rapids 41-yard line. Cuyahoga Falls will send a returner back. He'll set it right around his own goal line. I think that's going to be Anthony Spooney. And going to have a delay of game against Cleveland, which I think is going to be okay for Cooper Ryder, considering it will give him a little bit more room to kick this one. The punter out of Toledo University, maybe intentionally looking for a little bit of room to work. So Spooney will move up to his 5-yard line. Cooper Ryder will move up to just about the Rapids 47-yard line. Decent snap back, little looping, going to get this one away. And Spooney stepping up in there. We're going to get a flag. And the ball going to take a roll inside the 20 and out at the 18. We'll see what the flag is. This one flag at the line. Cooper Ryder trying to politic for something down there. Marvin Germany as well. So personal foul roughing the kicker coming up against the Rapids. 1:35 left here in the second quarter. And the Cleveland offense will head back to the field thanks to a roughing the kicker penalty. 1:35 left here, second quarter. All tied up at 7. All scoring coming on the first possession by each team. Nothing since then. It has been back and forth. Jeff Cooper Ryder helping control the field position. So 1st and 10 for Cleveland at the Rapids 20-yard line. Twin receivers to each side. Cooney at the quarterback position now. T.J. Johnson to his left. 1:35 left here in the first half. Tied up at 7. Tyree Knight in the slot to the right. Wise and Tufts to the near side. Cooney taking his time here. They're going to have to move a little bit here. Try to keep an eye on the back judge here for the 5-second warning. Cooney back to pass, fires out to his left, and it's going to be caught near the 8-yard line. We'll see where they're going to mark it. Devin Tufts on the reception. I believe they're going to mark it at the 5, and it's going to be 1st and goal for Cleveland. 1:20 left here in the first half. Cleveland's touchdown coming on a 1-yard run earlier. Cooney in a shotgun. He'll have T.J. Johnson behind him. Twin receivers to each side. 53 seconds left in the half. Hand off to Johnson. Johnson fighting his way forward. He'll get hit right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and goal now for Cleveland. Great contact. I believe Brandon Bracken's coming up making the initial hit on T.J. Johnson. And it looks like the Rapids will take their timeout with 47 seconds left, so we will step aside as well. 47 seconds left here, first half. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football. You're on Western Reserve Radio, all part of the iMedia One network. We're right back.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
47 seconds left here in the first half. Keyshawn Baycoat will be the receiver to the far side. Now have Tyree Knight to his left in the slot. Cooney in the shotgun. Johnson to his right. Tufts and Wise to the left. Cooney back to pass. Looking out to his right. Under pressure. Trying to get rid. Throws it out. And it's going to be thrown near the goal line. They're looking for an intentional grounding, but I think the official is going to be liberal with this. They're going to say incomplete pass, and the clock will stop with 41 seconds left in the second quarter. It's going to bring up 3rd and goal now for Cleveland. Cooney trying to make the smart play, get rid of that, but might want to get a little closer to a guy in a black jersey with green numbers. Head coach Nate Hose for the Rapids trying to lobby for the intentional grounding call. Didn't get it. So 3rd and goal now for Cleveland.
3rd and goal. We got an update from Racine as the Ravens are up 7-0 over the Raiders.
So Bayco to be their single receiver out to the far side. 3 receivers to the left of Cooney. Wise, Tufts, and Knight. Johnson to the right of Cooney. 41 seconds left. Clock stop. Back to pass. Looking out to his left. Stepping up in the pocket. Has some room to run. He's going to fake it. He'll get into the end zone on the 5-yard touchdown run. Cleveland takes the 13-7 lead with 33 seconds left here in the first half. Cooney extending the play with his legs. Looks to give Cleveland the lead going into the half. We are already down the right side of the correct side of the field for the field goal.
This one should be a chip shot.
As Cooper Ryder will come in for the extra point. Joe Barrico to hold. Cobras were last in action against the Erie Express. That was a close game and entertaining game at that. It was great to work with Paul Pennington and crew over there, always on top of everything. As Cooper Ryder waits for the snap, Barrico for the hold. High snap, it'll be brought down. Kick is up, and it is good. It'll head over into the street and into somebody's dumpster nearly with 33 seconds left here in the first half. Cleveland takes a 14-7 lead. We will step aside for another timeout. You are listening to the Cleveland Cobras Broadcast Network here on Western Reserve Radio. We're back right after this.
If I could be you.
And you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRTV, The Scourge.
.33 seconds left here, first half. Cooper Ryder coming to kick this one off. Cobras with a 14-7 lead. Emma Calhoun back to return for the Rapids. Spent a lot of time saying that young man's name. He's a former member of the Cleveland Cobra roster. St. Clair running on at the last second for the kickoff team for the Cobras. Cooper Ryder going to put a boot into this one. And he'll kick this one out to the left, picked up at the 17-yard line, brought out past the 20, 25. A block in the back here. We'll get a flag out to the 35, 40, and out past midfield, 45, 40, knocked out of bounds. And a very nice return by Sean Smith Jr., but hold the phone. As a wise man once said, that flag will come at the most inopportune time as Joe Barrico picks up one for the official, says thank you. A clear block in the back for the Rapids. Kind of unnecessary, to be quite honest. The Rapids, I think, would have had the same return even without the illegal block. Clock will stop with 23 seconds left in the first half. They'll mark the ball at the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Rapids. 23 seconds left here, first half. Cobras with the 14-7 lead. Picorni, Mormon, Barrico, and Quentin Wells. Front four on that defensive line. DeAndre Black making his way onto the field as they try to eat up this last 23 seconds. Black will go back to the sideline. Brandon Carmen will come back out at linebacker. All right, so after a little bit of confusion there. 1st and 10 for the Rapids at their own 20-yard line. 23 seconds left here, first half. Cleveland with the 14-7 lead. Jones in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his left. He'll plant his feet, fire out, and it's going to be incomplete. Pass was intended for Wright. I don't believe he... It looks like some of these receivers are kind of confused on these patterns. Didn't know it was intended for him. But nonetheless, clock will stop at 19 seconds left. 2nd and 10 now for the Rapids. Jordan Jones at quarterback for the Rapids. 3 receivers to his left. 3-step drop, shoulder fake, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to be brought down at the 17-yard line. Ambrose Picorni on the sack, and the clock will wind down to zeros here in the first half. The Cobras will head into the locker room. They lead by a score of 14-7. Halftime here in Lakewood. We're going to step aside for a break. We come back, we'll get you a scoring recap and hopefully get you some scores from around the minor league scene. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to clevelandcobrasfootball.com, Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all of these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home. Wow. Awesome.
Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Halftime here in Lakewood, Ohio. Cobras with a 14-7 lead over the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. Scoring went like this. 11:51 left in the first quarter. It will be T.J. Johnson into the end zone on a 1-yard touchdown run to give the Cobras a 6-0 lead. They would convert on the extra point, making it 7-0. Not too far after that, with 9:11 left in the first quarter, Emmett Calhoun, the former Cobra, would hit a 50-yard run into the end zone that would tie this game up at 7, and it would take all the way to the end of the second quarter. 33 seconds left as James Cooney would head into the end zone on a 5-yard touchdown run to give the Cobras a 14-7 lead. Just about 4 minutes left here in the halftime. Take a look at some scores from around the PAFL and elsewhere as the Mid-Ohio Patriots, they fall to the Youngstown Patricians 24-14. Of course, you heard that game right here on Western Reserve Radio. Mark Means, Dave Clark, and Dave Ferris providing all the action. And also the Portsmouth Lions, they get the 18-13 win over the West Virginia Leviathan. Cleveland Rams, they knock off the Ohio Broncos 26-6. And right now, the Erie Express lead the Glass City Tigers by a score of 20-12. In Detroit, last we heard, Racine was trailing Detroit by a score of 7-0. Detroit on a 30-plus game winning streak, I believe, as is Racine as well. If you're familiar with this level of football at all, you know the history of Racine. Been around since, I believe, the mid-50s. Out there at historic Horlick Field in Racine, Wisconsin. And indeed, after the first quarter, we just got confirmation here from the Racine Raiders social media. It is 7-0 in favor of Detroit, so a big matchup out there. Our colleague Don Wadowitz bringing you all the action. And we encourage you after this game to go over and listen to him, but not till this game's over. Just about 3 minutes left here in the half. I can't get a laugh out of anybody up here today. Good Lord. Less than 3 minutes left here in the half. We'll step aside for one more timeout when we come back. Third quarter action here from Lakewood. You are listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back right after this.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local events. Tune in and be part of their live weekly shows, as well as the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the PAFL. Find them on westernreserveradio.com, tune in, and the Live 365 app to be part of the area's conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio or on Twitter at WR_radio.
This is number 56, Antoine Peterson, known as Tony Sweets. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football on iMedia One Network.
Nina's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
Back here at Lakewood as we prepare for third quarter action. Cobras with a 14-7 lead over the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. For some reason got a hard time getting that out. But nonetheless, we will be on the road next week as we head to the Canton area. Out to St. Thomas Aquinas near Louisville. Cobras will take on the Ohio Broncos. Broncos dropping their game today to the Cleveland Rams. Also next week, on Thursday, it will be the OhioScouting.com Jack Arvin Classic. Live from Liberty Leopard Stadium on the campus of Liberty High School. A little bit of fun to that is we collect a check every 2 weeks from there. Thank you for the sympathy laugh. I appreciate it. And then on Friday night, we will have the baseball version of the All-Star Game here. Mark Means bringing you all the action there. If you've never heard Mark call a baseball game, he is in his comfort zone on that one. So, of course, the former voice of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers at one time as well. And while we're giving his resume, also the voice of the Grove City Wolverine football team, who's had a lot of success over there on the Pennsylvania side. 15 minutes back up on the board here. As Cleveland with a 14-7 lead. That is the first 7 points given up by the Cobra defense here in 2025. And it comes by way of a former Cleveland Cobra in Emma Calhoun. One of the more entertaining and fun players to watch as the Rapids will get ready to kick this one off. Bobby Joe Rhodes Jr., the kicker for the Rapids, doing all the kicking duties here in week one. Kicker a luxury at this level. We always had Bill Santel. A little shout out to him if he's listening. As Monte Taylor will run on the field at the last minute. Rhodes getting ready to step into to get this third quarter underway. And it'll be kicked to the far side. Picked up at the 13-yard line. Brought up past the 15, 20, 25, 30. And after a spin, will be brought down near the 34-yard line. Vincent Taylor on the return for Cleveland. And the return team has done a great job here for the Cobras through the first half and now into the third quarter. James Cooney at the quarterback position there later in this first half for the Cleveland Cobras. TJ Johnson moved over to the running back position. Cooney making some plays with his legs. And it looks like he will head back to the quarterback position. He'll count him up. As Cleveland will have the ball first and 10 at the 33. 14:52 left here, third quarter, just underway here if you're joining us in here on YouTube or if you're listening in on the Live 365 network or tune in. We appreciate it. As Germany, Tufts will be the receivers to the far side. They're going to also add an additional receiver to the near side, but I want to say it's Dominic Klopman, but snap back, going to go past Cooney. Cooney going to fall on it inside the 15 down near the 14-yard line. A big loss. They'll mark it at the 15-yard line. So Cooney will just fall on it, and they're going to mark the ball at the 15. They have to get to the 44-yard line for the first down. And the Cleveland offense on first and second down have struggled a little bit here with some negative plays. But right back to it. As D'Angelo Thompson and Tyree Nate will be the receivers to the far side. Germany and Tufts to the near side. Johnson moving to the right side of Cooney. Cooney in the shotgun. Clock now running. 3-step drop. Fires out to the right. And it's going to be picked off, and it's going to be brought down at the 5-yard line. The Rapids will have the ball first and goal at the 5. Spooney getting the interception for the Rapids. I believe Anthony Spooney, a former Ohio Gladiator, gets the interception. Almost returned it, but brought down at the Cobra 5-yard line. And the first big mistake by James Cooney today at the quarterback position. Cobras with a 14-7 lead. Rapids with a great opportunity to tie this one up. So twin receivers to the near side, single receiver to the far side. Two running backs in the backfield to the right and left of Jones. That'll be Calhoun to the right of Jordan Jones. Jones with the call. He'll take the read, keep the ball himself, get inside the 5, maybe pick up a yard on the play. And it'll be second and goal now for the Rapids. Cleveland defense with their back against their own goal line as the clock continues to run here. 13:56 left in the third quarter as we just get underway. Same formation now. Again, one receiver to the far side. Anthony Spooney out to the far side to the right of Jones. He'll hand it off this time off the right side, and he'll get close to it. And they're going to say into the end zone. He got the ball stretched out. Second effort. Cuts the lead to 14-13 in favor of Cleveland, pending the extra point. And we will have to flip sides of the field unless they are going to kick the extra point, and then we will have to flip sides of the field. So 13:32 left here, third quarter. 14-13 is your score. And we will go to the other side of the field to kick this extra point. Rhodes will come on for the conversion. He'll try to tie this one up. Second quarter action from Detroit. Racine still trailing Detroit by a score of 7-0. Tell Matt maybe we need to take a ride out to Racine there. Maybe go see a Raiders game. Maybe currently, unless somebody wants to correct me on that, maybe currently the oldest franchise in the country. As I get the thumbs up on, I think I'm right on that. I know it's not the Western Reserve Scourge, so. As Rhodes now for the extra point. Snap is back, kick is up, and it is good. 13:32. We're going to get a flag on the play, though. See what the call is. It came in from the near sideline. Get some whistles here. See if we can get the call. Was it a matter of too many people on the field? I see our side judge trying to count them up. All right, so they've changed their mind on that. Never mind. 13:32 left here in the third quarter. Rapids tie this one up at 14. Cuyahoga Falls converts on the interception. Spooney gets the ball to the 5-yard line. Rapids get into the end zone. 14-14 is your score here in week 1 of the PAFL. Rhodes stay on the field. He'll kick this one off. Taylor and Tyree Knight back to return for the Cobras. Return team for Cleveland has been outstanding tonight. As Rhodes will step into this one. This one will be a little bit shorter. It'll land at the 20 and head out of bounds. We'll get the flag. The illegal procedure. As a little bit of contact there, but Jason McLaren going to give nothing but hugs. Great sportsmanship here by both teams. He was tied up with Sterling Purnell. Purnell, a veteran from around these parts as well. 13:32 left here. They'll mark the ball at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for Cleveland. So Rhodes doing the smart thing, trying to kick away from the Cobra returners. As we get the whistle for play. Tied up at 14 here on a beautiful night in Lakewood, Ohio, here in the Cleveland area. See Slap Thompson down on the Cobra sideline, not in uniform tonight. TJ Johnson now in at quarterback. Dominic Klopman to his left at the running back position. They'll go 2 receivers to the left. They'll stack them. Single receivers to the right. Angelo Thompson in the slot. Tyree Knight to the outside. Johnson with the handoff to Klopman. Klopman fighting his way forward. Out near the 37-yard line. Pickup of 2. Maybe 3. They'll give him credit for 3, actually. So 2nd and 7 now for Cleveland. They're going to go right back to the line. Up-tempo offense here for the Cobras as the clock continues to run. Klopman offset to the left of TJ Johnson. Stacked receivers to the near side again. That'll be Germany and Tufts. Checking to the sideline with the coach. Have to watch the play clock. Look for the back judge. We'll get a whistle. And that'll come from a referee. I believe he wants to talk to the... And we're going to have a flag. Trying to get the call. Too many men on the field, maybe? Looks like Josh Davis was going to head off, but hard to say, but they're going to move the ball out to the 43-yard line. So 2nd down here as they try to catch the marker up. All right. So 2nd and 2 now. Johnson in the shotgun. Klopman offset to his left. Thompson and Knight to the far side. Germany and Tufts to the near side. Cobras moving right to left on your devices. Quick pass out to the flat. D'Angelo Thompson with the quick move. He'll be wrapped up near the 45. May give him the 46. Just enough for a Cobra 1st down. Cobras taking whatever the Rapids will give them in this 14-14 game. Rapids new in title, but plenty of veterans on this team. Thompson and Knight will be the receivers again to the far side. Tufts and Germany to the near side. Klopman to the right of TJ Johnson. And we're going to have a flag. I believe we're going to have a delay, a false start coming up against Cleveland. That'll knock them back 5. It'll be 1st and 15 for Cleveland. I think the officials may have been a little bit generous here. They're finally starting to maybe tighten down on that clock. As Rapids will flip some personnel from side to side. Johnson now in a shotgun. Again, Klopman to his right. All the receivers checking their wrist coaches as Johnson making the adjustments. Johnson back to pass, plants his feet, fires over the middle, and it's going to be short-armed, intended for Tyree Knight. Incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 15 for the Cobras. Clock will stop with 11:05 left here. 3rd quarter. Week 1 of the PAFL season. Cobras will be on the road next Saturday. It's Germany, Tufts, and Knight will be the 3 receivers to the near side. D'Angelo Thompson, the single receiver to the far side. Johnson in the shotgun, Klopman to his right. Dillard with the snap. Back to top. Long pass downfield, looking for Devin Tufts, and it's going to be picked off inside the 25 and brought down near the 19. We'll see where they're going to give him the progress. But an interception thrown by TJ Johnson, a turnover for the Cobras. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rapids. 10:26 left here. 3rd quarter. Took a shot downfield. And the Cleveland defense will head back. As we're going to see where we're going to mark this at. Interception came just inside the 25. but they're actually going to mark this at the 17-yard line. So inside the 20 is where the Rapids will start with 10:26 left here, third quarter, all tied up at 14. Try to keep you updated on that Racine Detroit game. Against a game that everybody seems to be interested in there. It's Johnson in the shotgun, one running back to each side. Single receiver to the wide side. Low snap, and we're going to get a whistle. And it's going to be an encroachment against Cleveland. So it'll be 1st and 5. First and 5 for the Rapids. 10:24 left here in the third quarter. And work the ball at the 22-yard line. Clock stop with 10:22 left in the third quarter. Johnson in the shotgun. Jordan Jones in the shotgun. Twin receivers to each side. Jones under pressure, stepping up. Quick pass out into the flats, intended for Emmett Calhoun. It went off the tips of his fingers. And Little John in there, as well as Lamar Hill, was trying to get an interception off the tip pass, but it will fall harmlessly to the turf for the Rapids. 2nd and 5 now for the visiting team. Clock rolling now, 10:07 left third quarter. Jordan Jones at quarterback. Twin receivers to the near side, single receiver to the far side. Jones with the handoff, and that's going to be Calhoun. Calhoun going to bounce off St. Clair, but he'll be stopped near the 29-yard line, but that's enough for a Rapids first down. Calhoun, historically a hard runner. 9.5 minutes left third quarter. I want to thank you for joining us here, week 1 of the PAFL season. Trying to bring you all the action here in Lakewood, as well as with the Youngstown Patricians. They get the first win of the PAFL season for their franchise. Jones in a shotgun. Calhoun to his right, running back to his left. Twin receivers to the near side. Man in motion, it's going to be a pitch. And Cobra's going to wrap this one up in the backfield, bring him down near the 27-yard line. And it might be, depending on what they mark it, maybe 2nd and 11, 2nd and 12 for the Rapids. Cobra's not falling for that one. And Ambrose Picorni coming in for the tackles. Carmen will come to the sideline.
Updates between Racine and Detroit. Racine is behind 14-0. The Ravens making a statement. A lot of teams are able to.
Mormon and Picorni to the right side of that Cobra defensive line. Wells and Barrico to the left. Jones in the shotgun for the Rapids. Pitch out to the far side, trying the sweep, and nowhere to go. May have picked up a yard on the play, but they're going to mark this one at the 29-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Rapids. 7:56 left here, third quarter. All knotted up at 14. Quite frankly, a good battle up front here in the trenches between these two teams. Kev Fortson now in at the cornerback position to the near side here. Deontay McDonald is in the dog position. Deontay Nolling at the linebacker position. Well as Robert Littlejohn. Jones in the shotgun. 3-step drop, looking out. Looking for a target, under pressure, and he's going to be brought down. And I believe it's Ambrose Picorni again with, I believe, his 2nd sack of the day. And it's going to be 4th down for the Rapids. Could not do anything with the interception, the turnover by the Cobras. Rapids do nothing with it as Rhodes will come in for the punt. Tyree Knight to return for Cleveland. Cleveland looking for a good return on this. Could set them up offensively. 6:40 left here, third quarter. A few late additions in here on the punt team for the Rapids. Rhodes waiting for the snap, rolls on the ground. Rhodes, though, going to get this one away. It's going to be a high kick, doesn't go anywhere, and it's going to take a sideways bounce out at the 35-yard line, and the Cobras will take over first and 10 deep, or at least well into Rapids territory at the 35-yard line. The snap rolled along the turf. It looked like he was going to get a decent punt off, but went off the side of his foot, end-over-end kick. And not much of a net gainer on the punt for the Rapids. Pretty scary with that handful of Cobras coming through that line, but they'll mark this at the Rapids 35-yard line. First and 10 for Cleveland, 6:17 left, third quarter. So we're told, is it a net gain of, or net punt of 10 yards? All right. That's going to hurt the average. I didn't mind snapping the ball to the punter. I wasn't standing back there, though. It's a very vulnerable position with that leg in the air. As Cooney back in at quarterback. Johnson to his left. Twin receivers to the far side. Knight and Tufts to our near side. They'll send Knight in motion from left to right. Three receivers to the far side now. Cooney back to pass, fires out, and that's going to be caught at the 34-yard line and dropped. Are they going to say incomplete pass, or are they going to say fumble? And they're going to stop the clock. I think the officials want to have a discussion, and they're going to say it's a fumble. And the Rapids get another turnover. They'll take over first and 10 with 6:10 left here in the third quarter. A long way to go here in this game, but Cleveland going to have to hold on to the ball. Would have been a couple-yard gain, but turnover will wipe that out and give the ball to the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. These two teams will meet again later in the year at Infocision Stadium on the campus of Akron University. Beautiful stadium up there. Again, great presentation as we went to see the Rapids games at Akron University. So Jones now in the shotgun. He'll be pistol formation, running back behind him. Twin receivers to the near side, single receiver to the far side. Actually, looks like they're going to have a wing to the left as well. Jones taking his time, scan the field. Jones with the hand off the left side. A little bit of an awkward pitch out, and it's going to be stretched out to the sideline. May have lost a yard on the play. Ambrose McCorney in there leading the charge with a host of Cleveland Cobras as the clock runs under 6 minutes here in the third quarter. .548 left here.
AC finally on the board. The Ravens still lead 14-7.
Everybody keeping an eye on the Racine Detroit game up here. As Ramel said, 14-7.
Outside of this game, the Racine Detroit game is the second biggest game.
So Jones in the shotgun. He'll have pistol formation. Twin receivers to the near side. 5:26 left here, third quarter. And we're going to have some movement up front. And that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So instead of 2nd and 11, it'll be 2nd and 16. Tried to get a head start, but I will say an excellent first step by their right tackle. So 2nd and 16 now for Jones in the shotgun. Pitch out to the near side, trying to cut back to the inside, looking for some room, and going to be hemmed up near the 32-yard line. Pickup of 3 on the play. So 3rd and 13 for the Rapids. 4:37 left here in the third quarter. Barrico going to head to the sideline. He'll take a breather. Wells, Mormon, Lightfoot, and Picorni, the front four for the defense. Little John, Carmen, Deontay McDonald in there as well. Nico St. Clair. All in for the Cobras. Jones in the shotgun. Emmett Calhoun behind him. Wing to the right for the Rapids. Clock hitting 4 minutes here, third quarter. Pass out into the flats to Calhoun. Calhoun trying to cut back in. He'll make one move, and he'll be wrapped up near the 33-yard line, well short of a first down. So Rhodes will have to come on and punt this one away for the Rapids. Clock will continue to run. 14-14 is your score. Some of the scores from around the minor league scene here. Again, Racine trailing Detroit by a score of 14-7. Mid-Ohio Patriots, they fall to the Youngstown Patricians today, 24-14. Of course, that game heard on Western Reserve Radio 2. Portsmouth Lions get an 18-13 win over the West Virginia Leviathan. So Rhodes waiting for the snap. A wobbly snap, but gets back there. He'll get this one off. And it's going to be a good punt. Picked up by 31, picked up at the 32, and a big hit. And Cleveland will take over. First and 10 near their own 32-yard line. I believe Taylor was going to be the returner on that, but nonetheless, Cleveland survives the last two turnovers. Cobra defense coming up big. They'll actually mark the ball at the 30-yard line. Vincent Taylor taking the hit on the return there. Held on to the ball, though. So Keyshawn Bako will head to the field. Calling for one more receiver. He will gladly go out there. Clock stop with 2:58 left here, third quarter. Clock stopped on the change of possession. Looks like we have a Nat Fest out here in front of the press box. All right, so Germany and Tufts, the receivers to the near side. Cooney in a quarterback, Johnson to his right. Send a man in motion. It'll be Tyree Knight from right to left. They'll give a three-receiver formation to our near side. Cobras moving right to left, back to pass. Cooney passing out there, and the ball's going to be tipped. It was intended for T.J. Johnson, and it was going to be tipped by Morgan Hill. At least he's wearing 95. Hill listed as a tight end. Tall enough to get his hands up there, though, and knock that one away. It'll be second and 10 now for Cleveland. 2:42 left here, third quarter. Taylor, Carr, Dillard. Vargo on that front offensive line for Cleveland. Right tackle's been kind of a tackle by committee here. As we have twin receivers to the near side. It'll be Germany and Tufts. Tyree Knight will head back to the far side. Germany now going to go in motion from left to right. Cooney waiting for the snap. He'll get it. Three-step drop. Looking out to his left. Under pressure. Steps up in the pocket. He'll get some yards, and he'll get all the way out to the 39-yard line. He may be just short of the first down, but it'll be a much more manageable first down at third and 1. And no, they're going to say he got out to the 40. They're going to give Cleveland the first down with 1:48 left in the third quarter. By some of the looks here, maybe a generous spot, but I don't think the Cobras are going to argue the call. Cooney coming to the sideline to get the play. And we'll head back to the huddle. 90 seconds left, third quarter. Tied up at 14 here. Great week one matchup between two teams that, despite the new name for the Rapids, a lot of players knowing each other here. As Cooney now will send Johnson to his left hip. Cooney will keep the ball on the read. He'll be brought down from behind in the backfield near the 36-yard line. Monte Taylor going to track him down from behind. And they're going to mark the ball at the 37-yard line. So loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13 for Cleveland. Cooney in the shotgun. Baycoat, the receiver to the far side now. He'll have Germany to his left in the slot. Good snap. Cooney stepping up with some room to run. And he's going to be wrapped up at the 38-yard line. May have gained a yard on the play, but that's going to bring up 3rd and 11 now for Cleveland. Rapids showing some pressure as we're going to have a Cuyahoga Falls player down in the backfield. Clock will stop with 18 seconds left in the 3rd quarter as they check on him. Beth Betancourt, the Cobras trainer, going out there. Looks like she will not be needed. As Josh Davis, after being shaken up a little bit, will head to the sideline on his own, actually going to jog it off. Clock will start with 14 seconds left, and that most likely will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. We got 3 quarters in the books here in Lakewood. We're all tied up at 14. We will step aside for a timeout. We come back. 4th quarter action here from Lakewood. You are listening to Cleveland Cobras football on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back on the other side.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go. Wow! The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today. You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
We'll flip sides of the field, and we'll go to the 4th quarter here, tied up at 14. Cleveland 3rd and 11. They'll mark the ball at the 39-yard line. Twin receivers each side. Germany and Bayco going to be to the near side. Johnson to the right of Cooney. Cooney and Johnson switching back and forth at quarterback. Cooney back to pass. Rolling out to his far side, plants his feet, fires, and it's going to be intended for a Cobra at the 47-yard line. They're going to say incomplete. Hold the phones, though, as we'll have another penalty. So they're going to say incomplete pass. And the clock will continue to run here. All right, so ball plays back again at the 39-yard line. As Cooper Ryder will come in to punt this one away. Field position becoming much more important here, tied at 14. Cobras on the road next week. They'll head to the Canton area. St. Thomas Aquinas. They will take on the Ohio Broncos. And I think for the first time this year, we see a gnat-infested stadium in front of us. Lights now coming on here in Lakewood. Sun gone down. Low snap, and ball loose, and it's going to be down at the 27-yard line, and the Rapids will take over inside Cleveland territory. So a bad snap gives the Rapids great field position. Cooper Ryder tried to pick it up, but we're going to have a Rapids player down as well under the pile, and then he's going to shake it off as well. He'll get up and head to the sideline, and the Cobra defense will come back on the field with not great field position. So 1st and 10 for the Rapids at the Cleveland 27-yard line. 14:02 left here in the 4th quarter. And I am being given an update there from Detroit. The Ravens, they go into halftime with a 14-7 lead over the Racine Raiders. Big time football there in Detroit. The Rapids now back on the field. Emma Calhoun in the backfield with Jones. Twin receivers to the near side. They'll go to wing to the right. That'll be Bracey. Calhoun now. He'll move forward. It'll be 3 receivers to the left of Jones. He'll send a man in motion from left to right. Jones going to take it himself, trying to find some room off the left side, and he's going to be upended at the 25-yard line. He made me give him the 24. Nico St. Clair on the tackle with 13:50 left here in the game. It's 14 all. And the Rapids look like they're going to go right back to the line, trying to take advantage of the bad punt. Or the bad snap, actually. Jones with Calhoun behind him, wing to the right. He'll give it to Calhoun. Calhoun will pick up a couple yards on the play. Deontay McDonald leading the tackle on that one. Better coming in for the assist. 13:15 left here in the game. Being treated to a great Week 1 matchup here in the PAFL. As Jones now in a shotgun, Calhoun behind him. He'll give it to Calhoun this time, try to bump it to the outside. And Robert Littlejohn coming up and making the hit at the 21. And maybe give him the 22-yard line. Calhoun trying to find some room against his former team. It's now 4th down for the Rapids.
And the Rapids are going to go for a field goal.
And it looks like Bobby Joe Rhodes going to come in for a field goal. I believe they have this marked at the 21-yard line, so it'll be a 38-yard field goal. They'll be kicking it from the left hash mark. 12:22 left here in the game. As Rhodes will count up the field goal team. Josh Davis will give him a second count. Davis headed to the sideline. We're going to have a flag, an illegal substitution against the Rapids. That'll put him back 5. So now, instead of a 38-yard field goal, it'll be a 43-yard field goal. We'll see if they're still going to go for it. A lot to ask. And we're going to get some whistles here. And it looks like the Rapids are going to take a timeout. 12:10 left here in the game. We're all tied up at 14. We'll step aside for a timeout. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back on the other side.
The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
12:10 left here in the game. Rhodes for the field goal. Ball be set at the 33-yard line. Snaps bobbled. They're going to go out to the far side. Plenty of room to run. Ball's on the turf. Up in the air. Picked up by Rhodes. And Rhodes is going to be run over. And the Cobras will take over 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. A flag comes in from the near side. Kev Fortson ran onto the field. And I believe this is going to be a dead ball foul. So we'll see if the Cobras take over. Now we have another flag on the far side. And that could have been disastrous for Cleveland. We'll put him back further, but now look at the ball. They're going to mark it at the 35-yard line. Light's not really that bright here on the field here, so if you're watching the camera, it is a little bit dark. Now 1st and 10 for Cleveland. D'Angelo Thompson, single receiver to the near side. Cooney at quarterback, Johnson to his left, 3 receivers to the far side. 2 receivers to the far side. They'll give it to Johnson. Johnson going to be hit in the backfield.
It's knocked backwards.
And they're going to say a loss of about 3. Now we're going to have a flag. 2nd and 13. We'll see the flags against. So dead ball, personal foul against the Rapids. That is going to save Cleveland's offense from working behind the line to gain. Should be enough for a Cobras first down. As Cleveland will head to the huddle. All right, so they'll mark the ball at the 48-yard line. First down for Cleveland after the enforcement of the personal foul. Cooney in the shotgun. D'Angelo Thompson, single receiver to the near side, twins to the far side. TJ Johnson, quick snap, pass thrown to the far side, caught. Going to be caught on the Rapid side of the field at the 49-yard line. Pickup of 3, 2nd and 7 now. Well, they'll say 2 actually. So they'll give him the midfield stripe. Pass caught by Devin Tufts, who has done a really good job here in the early 2025 season. Actually, they're going to move it to the 49 now, so I was correct. It's nice to know I can be right once in a while. Still bad, and still doing better than the average Major League Baseball player. So twin receivers to each side. Jason McLaren now in the slot to the right. Cooney in at quarterback. Back to pass, looking out to his right, under pressure, and it's going to be thrown. It's going to head towards the sideline and go out of bounds. I don't know if it was going to be an incomplete pass or a fumble, but either way, it's going to be 2nd down. I believe they're going to call that an incomplete pass. May have gotten that a ways. We'll have several whistles, and now the umpire was blowing the whistle. Looked like he wanted to have a conversation, but not necessary. And a penalty coming up against Cleveland. I didn't see the call on it. Did you? All right, so they're going to move the ball back to the Cleveland 41-yard line with 10:18 left here on a running clock. 4th quarter, all tied up at 14. Week 1 of the PAFL season. A cool night here in Cuyahoga County. Two by two for Cleveland. Johnson to the left of Cooney. 2nd down, ball at the 41-yard line. They got to get to the 42 on the other side for a first down. Quick pass out to D'Angelo Thompson. He'll make one move and be hemmed up at the 39-yard line. Outstanding play by Mike Marshall. .9:32 left here in the game. Clock is continuing to run. We are tied up at 14. They will mark the ball at the 39-yard line. And for Cleveland, they will have to get to the 42-yard line on the Rapid side of the field. Tufts and Knight, the receivers to the far side now. Wise and D'Angelo Thompson to the near side. Cooney in the shotgun. TJ Johnson to his right. 8:54 left in the game. Good snap back to Cooney. He'll fire it out. Caught at the 45-yard line, but that'd be well short of the first down. It'll be 4th down, and Cooper Ryder will come in for the punt, and we're going to have a player down for the Cobra. Actually, they're going to help him up and dust him off, and I believe that's going to be Devin Tufts. He'll shake that off, though. 8:40 left here. The clock will stop. I believe they'll wind this as soon as they help the injured Cobra off the field. Devin Tufts going to head there to the sideline. He's going to be helped. 14-14 is the score. Clock now will start to run. 8:34 left here in the game. Jeff Cooper Ryder will post up around his own 33-yard line, looking for a better snap this time. I believe that's going to be Lamoris Dillard, the long snapper, as Matt Federer will come in at the last minute. He'll replace Tyree Knight. Knight and Hill actually headed back in there. Now we're trying to figure out how many we got. All right, so Hill's going to stay in, as well as Germany.
Better snap this time.
This punt will get away, and it's going to go over the head, be dropped, and it's going to be a ball still loose, picked up by and dropped again by the Cobras. Carmen there, and I believe the Cobras are going to recover it inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. And Marvin Germany, with the recovery, gives Cleveland the ball. First and is it going to be first and goal? No, they're going to say at the 12-yard line, but nonetheless, a big break for the Cleveland Cobras. Tied up at 14, 7:46 left here in the game. And now Cobras have great field position. Cooper Ryder with the punt just over the head of the returner. Went off his fingertips. And it looks like Dave Slap Thompson will come in at quarterback. He was a little bumped up. They were hoping they wouldn't have to use him tonight, but he is now dressed as Baycoat and TJ Johnson are on the field. Tyree Knight will come out. So they're going to mark the ball at the 13. First and 10 for Cleveland. They can get a first down at the 3-yard line. Baycoat, TJ Johnson, the receivers to the far side. D'Angelo Thompson and Matt Wise to the right of Thompson. Thompson walking along the line. Making some last-second adjustments. Clock stopped at 7:46 left in the game. Got some movement off the right side. We'll see which side they're going to say false start. Taylor Johnson moved at that left tackle position. I wasn't sure, but he acknowledges it. So first and 15 now. Ball marked at the 18-yard line. 7:46 left in the game. Thompson. Again, making some last-minute adjustments. I believe that's Dominic Klopman to his left now. Quick pass out to the far side. That's Johnson. Johnson with the catch. He'll fight his way back to the original line of scrimmage. Pick up a 5. 2nd and 10 now for Cleveland. 7:36 left here in the game. Cobras with a recovery on a mishandled punt return. Like to throw that in for Mark Means. It's a mishandled punt. All right, Baycoat and TJ Johnson to the far side. D'Angelo Thompson and Matt Wise to the near side. Slap Thompson in at quarterback. Dominic Klopman, sole running back. Clock continues to run. 7 minutes even left in the game. 14-14 is your score. Cobras trying to work their way out of the false start penalty. Back to pass. Fires out. Caught inside the 10-yard line. Down near the 8. Again, they can get to the 3-yard line for a first down. Baycoat on the catch. Keyshawn Baycoat wearing 11 today. Generally wears 88 for the Cobras. TJ Johnson coming to the sideline. Thompson signaling to the sideline for something, but clock continues to run here, 6:19. Long way to go, actually, here in the fourth quarter if Cleveland can't score. Rapids will have a lot of time to work with. Exciting game here in week 1 of the PAFL season. Exciting game for the Youngstown Patricians, also getting their first win in the PAFL. 24-14 win. And Cleveland going to take a timeout. 5:46 left here, fourth quarter, tied up at 14. We'll step aside for a timeout. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
.546 left here in the game, and Cleveland takes a timeout. Third down now, ball marked at the 7-yard line. They can get to the 3 for a first down. Baycoat, single receiver to the far side. Johnson, Wise, and Thompson. 3 receivers to the right of Dave Slap Thompson. Dominic Klotman on his left hip. They'll send TJ Johnson in motion from right to left. Thompson back to pass, fires out into the corner. Some contact, but it's going to be thrown well out of bounds, uncatchable. And it's going to be fourth down for Cleveland. And Jeff Cooper-Ryder coming in for what could be the all-important attempted field goal. Of course, we're going to have to switch sides from our right to our left. The logistics on this a little rough. No net on the right side here, so we don't want to kick it into somebody's bedroom or their shower. So ball at the 7-yard line. I'm making a 24-yard field goal. We'll give them 7 for the snap, 10 for the end zone, if you're doing the math. Dave Ferris checking in on us. .541 left here in the game. Cooper-Ryder on for the field goal. Barrico to hold. 5:41 left here in the game. From the left hash. Barrico waiting for the snap. Good snap. And it's going to be dropped. Covered up by the Rapids at the 14-yard line. With 5:30 left in the game, it'll remain 14-14. Cooper-Ryder will never get an opportunity to kick that one. And we're going to get some whistles here. So Rapids will take over with 5.5 minutes left here. Special teams. A little rough on both sides today. So actually we'll flip sides of the field back to our right. Cobras defense back on the field. Done a good job trying to bail out the offense and special teams here tonight. So 1st and 10. Ball at the 14-yard line. Jordan Jones in the shotgun. Calhoun to his rear. Twin receivers to each side. Handoff up the middle. Calhoun trying to get to the outside. He'll break it past the 20 and brought down near the 23-yard line. It'll be close to a first down. We'll see if they'll give it to him. And indeed, it will be a first down for the Rapids. Clock continues to run here. 5:13 left in the game. Tied up at 14. Jones now with 2 receivers to his left, 2 receivers to his right. Calhoun in the backfield. Jones pulling the ball himself, trying to get to the outside. He'll be tracked down after a gain of about 1. 2nd and 9 now for the Rapids. Just about to hit the 4.5-minute mark left in the game. Jones in the shotgun. Calhoun again to his rear. Jones with the handoff left side. Calhoun cutting to the inside. And Donovan Mormon going to hem him up. They'll get the whistle. May have picked up a yard on the play. 3rd and 8 now for the Rapids as we hit the 4-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Third down now for the Rapids. 3:30. 4th quarter tied up at 14. We're in store for an exciting ending. Here's Jones now in the shotgun. Receivers 2 by 2. Calhoun in the backfield. Back to passes Jones. 3-step drop, 5-step drop. Completes it. And it's actually going to be dropped just short of the 25-yard line. I believe that was Robert Littlejohn on the coverage for Cleveland. And now it's 4th down with 3:13 left in the game. Almost have to punt this one away if you're going to give Cleveland good field position. Clock will begin to run. As we approach the 3-minute mark here in Lakewood, week 1 of the PAFL season. Littlejohn and Carmen, the linebackers for the Cobras. Rhodes ready to punt this one away. He'll mark up right around his own 15-yard line. He'll get this one away. It'll be a decent punt. And it'll land at the 45, and it'll be down right at the 45-yard line. No return on there, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Cleveland. They'll have 55 yards to go with 2:35 left in the game as we are tied up at 14. Special teams costing both clubs here today. As we have 2:35 left here in the game. 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 45-yard line. Wise and Germany, twin receivers to the near side. Dave Thompson in the shotgun. TJ Johnson to his left. Dillard, a little bit of a low snap, hand off to Johnson. Johnson with some room to run. He'll cut to the outside, past the 50, inside the 50, down to the 45-yard line, and it'll be close to a 1st down. And the head linesman will say 1st down, Cleveland. 1st and 10 inside Rapids territory with 2:25 left in the game. Actually, it'll mark the ball at the 44. We'll see if they try to get a playoff here before the 2-minute warning. 2:06 left. As the clock continues to run, Thompson will not get this off. And we'll have the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter here, all tied up at 14. We'll step aside for a timeout. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
Season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday 10 to 4 and Saturday 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
The stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
Coming out of the 2-minute warning here, tied up at 14. Cleveland, 1st and 10 from the Rapids 44-yard line. Dave Thompson coming in here, fourth quarter. Johnson to his left. Twin receivers to each side. 2x2, that'll be Tyree Knight in the slot to our near side. He'll be to the left of Matt Wise. Thompson, back to pass, looking out to his right, throws down the sideline, and it's going to be incomplete, thrown out of bounds. Clock will stop, 1:55 left in the game. 2nd and 10 now for Cleveland.
Under pressure, no excuse. That could have been it. That could have been the game.
So under 2 minutes to play here in Lakewood, week 1 of the PFL season. So 2nd down now for Cleveland. Ball at the 44-yard line. Baycoat and Germany, the twin receivers to the far side. Knight and Wise to the near side. DJ Johnson to the right. Now Dave Slap Thompson coming in relief here, fourth quarter. So movement up front. And that's going to be an encroachment by the Rapids. That'll give them 5. It'll give Cleveland a little bit of room to work with. Mark the ball now at the 39-yard line. 1:55 left here in the game. Baycoat and Germany to the far side. Thompson. Quick pass out to the right side. Picked off at the 27. And knocked out of bounds near the 40-yard line. 1:49 left in the game. Rapids have the ball. And we're going to have a flag, and there's going to be a taunting call coming up against Wright for the Rapids. That'll knock him back 15. A little bit too much celebrating there on the Cobra sideline. Flags fly, and with 1:49 left in the game, the Rapids have an opportunity to put this one away. So we'll see where they place the ball after the enforcement of the penalty. This is going to be a dead ball foul. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rapids, but it's going to be 15 yards back. It looks like they're going to mark this one near the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Rapids at their own 30-yard line. 1:49 left in the game. Tied up at 14. Jones in the shotgun. Pistol formation, running back to his left. Twin receivers to the right, single receiver to the left of Jones. They'll send a man in motion from right to left. Back to pass. Jones taking himself upfield, and he's going to pick up some yards. He'll be brought down at the 39-yard line. But now, clock will continue to run with 1:34 left. They'll go right back to the line. Same formation as we'll go twin receivers to the right of Jones. And Calhoun, the running back behind the Rapids signal caller. Hand off to the right side this time, looking for some room to run. Rapids will get the first down. Mark it down near the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 with 1:09 left. And clock stopped briefly, but markers now set enough for the clock to restart. 60 seconds left in this game. Tied up at 14. Jones trying to mark out some instruction to the right side. He'll check the wrist coach. He'll send a single receiver to the near side. Calhoun behind him. Jones waiting for the snap. Back to pass. Throws over the middle. It's going to be caught. And a big hit at the 48-yard line. Deontay McDonald. And that might be enough for a Rapids first down at the 48. And indeed, they're going to give it to him. 33 seconds left here. And Rapids going to take a timeout here. 33 seconds left here, fourth quarter. All tied up at 14. We're going to step aside for a timeout. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
Discount Power Sports at 778 North Main Street in Hubbard is hosting a raffle for a 125cc Ventura ATV. Tickets are $30 each, and 100 tickets are available. For each raffle, when those 100 are gone, a winner will be drawn and a new raffle will begin. Tickets can be purchased at any Hubbard home game or at 778 North Main Street or by calling 330-717-4441. $1,500 from each raffle will go toward a scholarship for the Hubbard Youth Coalition.
33 seconds left here in the game. Rapids coming out of their timeout. Jones in the shotgun. One running back to his left. Calhoun behind him. Twin receivers to the far side. First and 10 at the Cobra 48-yard line. Jones back to pass, looking down, throws out to the right, and going to be incomplete. Second and 10 now for the Rapids. Clock will stop with 29 seconds left in the game. Currently Cleveland with one high safety. You want to consider putting somebody else back there, but Jones now back in the same formation. Two receivers to his far side. Finally, a single receiver to the near side. Calhoun, the running back. Jones back to pass, looking down over the middle field, fires down the right sideline, and it's going to be tipped and incomplete. And no flag on the play. Rapids receiver calling for it, but he won't get it. 3rd and 10 now for the Rapids with 23 seconds left in the game. All knotted up at 2 touchdowns apiece.
The better thing to do for the Rapids would be to try to get a first down and then either try to make a long field goal or take a shot at the end zone.
Not sure how many timeouts the Rapids have.
If you get the first down, you could probably take
From what I hear, there's one left, but lost track of those. Twin receivers to the far side now. Single receiver to the near side. Again, that'll be Filey. Calhoun in the backfield. He'll be behind Jones. Jones full back to his left. Clock stop with 23 seconds left. 2nd and 10 from the Cobra 48-yard line. Jones back to pass. Fires over the middle of the field. Has a receiver wide open. Incomplete. Pass just short of the intended target. And the clock will stop with 18 seconds left here in the game, tied up at 14.
Now 18 seconds to go.
A wide open receiver for the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. Can't connect on it.
Rapids might punt.
Tyree Knight back to return now. Right around his own 10-yard line. Bobby Joe Rhodes will do the punting duties. He'll post up right around his own 40. He'll count them up. Make sure we have 11. Late addition coming on for the Rapids. 18 seconds left here. Snap's been a problem for both teams tonight. High snap going to be brought down by Rhodes. He'll get this one away, but it's going to be a low, and it's going to be touched at the right around the 33-yard line. We'll see where they mark it officially. All right, so they give him the 34-yard line.
13 seconds to go, 2 timeouts.
And just enough time to take a couple shots downfield here, tied at 14.
I'm thinking you take a shot down the field. If not,
Could be looking at overtime here in week 1. Hard-fought game between these two teams. Entertaining game if you're joining us here on a Saturday night. Week 1 of the PAFL season. Earlier on Western Reserve Radio 2, you had the Youngstown Patricians and the Mid-Ohio Patriots. Patricians get their first win in franchise history in the PAFL. 24-14 was the score. D'Angelo Thompson, Keyshawn Baycoat making their way to the field. 13 seconds left. All tied up at 14. Rapids bouncing back after the 54-0 loss to the Detroit Ravens last week. And Dave Thompson taking the timeout for Cleveland. 13 seconds left here. I want to remind you, coming up this Thursday, we will have the ScoutingOhio.com Jack Arvin Classic here on Western Reserve Radio. Mark Means, Dave Ferris, and I will be out at Liberty Leopard Stadium in Trumbull County. Should be a good time there. Hopefully we'll get some decent weather there in Trumbull County. Liberty just on the northern border of Youngstown. And then we will have the Baseball All-Star game on Friday night with Mark Means. Saturday, of course, as always, the sports page. Pat Lucci and Dave Clark. And then we will have more PAFL action coming up next Saturday. Cobras heading over to the Canton area to take on the Ohio Broncos. That coming to you from St. Thomas Aquinas Stadium. So Thompson in a shotgun. TJ Johnson to his left. 3 receivers to the near side. Looks like Wise, Baycoat, and D'Angelo Thompson. Single receiver to the far side. Thompson. Quick pass. D'Angelo Thompson off the fingertips and intercepted at the 44-yard line by the Rapids. Goes off. And it goes off the fingertips of D'Angelo Thompson. Picked off by Wright. And with 9 seconds left, the Rapids will have an opportunity to chuck one down the field. Turnovers going both ways here. Keeping this game close. Well, I guess you can't get any closer than tied up. 14-14 is your score. Last score coming into the second quarter with just 33 seconds left. James Cooney at quarterback would head into the end zone on a 5-yard touchdown run. No score here in the second half. Excuse me, there has been. I'm sorry, the Rapids scored now. All right, we'll get that right.
One day.
Math, numbers, it's hard. It's very hard. All right, 14-14 is your score nonetheless. Jones in the shotgun. Twin receivers to the near side. 2 running backs in the backfield. Single receiver to the far side. Rapids moving right to left on your devices. Back to pass. Has some time. Fires it downfield. And it's going to be incomplete. Overthrown. It was an uncatchable ball. They're going to throw the flag.
Doesn't look like the ball was catchable.
And he's going to get this, I guess, a backup flag from the back judge. And I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. We'll make that a questionable call. As the ball thrown over the head of the Rapids receiver, but
I just thought about this. This is not a spot foul. It's only 15 yards.
So 2 seconds left here in the game.
If you're the Rapids, you either go for a long field goal or take a shot at the end zone.
So we'll see where they're going to mark the ball here. Right now, they're standing near the 15-yard line. And Rhodes on the field for the 32-yard attempt. 2 seconds left in the game. I'll actually mark it at the 16. So a 33-yard field goal attempt. Cleveland going to have to be disciplined on the snap. They don't want to give him any more yards. As Rhodes now will step this off. And Cleveland will take a timeout. 2 seconds left here in the game. Rapids with an opportunity for a 33-yard field goal. Will step aside for a timeout. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on the iMedia One Network. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region and beyond in pursuit of a premier amateur football league championship. And if you're looking to continue your playing or coaching career after high school, college, or even the pros, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football or call owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
2 seconds left here in the game. Rhodes, again, going to step this one off coming out of the Cobra timeout. Snap is back on the turf, and it's going to be up, and it is good! Time expires, and the Rapids get the 17-14 win over the Cleveland Cobras. And the Cobras are stunned here as Rhodes comes on for the winning field goal. Rapids come into Lakewood. They get the 17-14 win in what was an outstanding game. An exciting end here in week one as the Rapids, they start 1-0 in the PAFL. Cleveland falls to 0-1. We'll step aside for another timeout. We come back, we'll wrap it up here. From Lakewood, you are listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network.
Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on the iMedia One Network. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region and beyond in pursuit of a premier amateur football league championship. And if you're looking to continue your playing or coaching career after high school, college, or even the pros, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football or call owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
An exciting end here to week one in the PAFL. The Cleveland Cobras fall to the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids by a score of 17-14, a 33-yard field goal by Bobby Joe Rhodes. Gives the Rapids the win. And the Cobras 0-1 will head to Louisville next week to take on the Ohio Broncos. The Broncos falling to the Cleveland Rams today as well. Coming up this week on Western Reserve Radio, it'll be the ScoutingOhio.com Jack Arvin Classic here. Mark Means, Dave Ferris, and myself, again, out at Liberty High School as we get ready to bring you the final edition for the seniors here in the Valley. That'll be a 7 o'clock start. Also can catch that game on Sports Radio 1240 in Youngstown. And then on Friday night, we will have the baseball version of the All-Star Game with Mark Means. Followed up by Saturday. Pat Lucia and Dave Clark with the Saturday morning sports page and more PFL action coming up on Saturday. So after an exciting back and forth game here, the Rapids pull off the upset. They get the 17-14 win. And again, they will move on next week. These two teams will play again at InfoCision Stadium later in the season on the campus of Akron University. So there will be a rematch. It is a divisional game here in the PAFL. So for Matt Craven pushing all the buttons here, I'm Jim Craven. Thanks for joining us here in week one of the PAFL. We look forward to seeing you next week from St. Thomas Aquinas Stadium in Canton. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. Your score one last time. Cuyahoga Falls Rapids 17, the Cleveland Cobras 14. We'll see you all again next week. Have a good night, everybody.
We thank you for joining us for this special presentation of Western Reserve Radio. And we now return to our regularly scheduled programming.